Welcome to this week's confession of a fitness professional. Pardon me, I have just been eating my granola parfait and I'm super worried that I have something stuck in my teeth. So if you're watching this, be kind, be kind. I am Andrea Anderson, your fitness professional, coming at you with yet another confession after 15 years in the fitness industry. Here it is. This week's confession is: your fitness instructor knows more about you than you think. We know a lot about you, and I'm gonna count the ways and tell you how we know so much about you. Having had some clients for 15 years straight, so I have some people who were with me since like day one, year one, have been rocking with me for a very long time. We know a lot about each other because there were times where we would spend an hour a day, almost every day together, if not an hour a week together, a couple hours a week, depending on when people come to fitness sessions. More often than not, I find that I have a lot of clients who are repeat clients and have been with me for a number of years and come from more than just one type of modality, more than one type of class. So we know a lot about each other, I would say, but we know about you before you even tell us. And here's how. I'm gonna let you in, I'm gonna spill the tea a little bit. We can tell what you're going through mentally. You wear it on your face, regardless of whether you think you have a poker face. When you are at a fitness class, you have no poker face. We can see it all. We can see it all. Now, I will share all of this with a word of caution. Like, we as fitness professionals, we're looking for these things. You know, we are looking at you. We're making sure that you're doing okay. We're making sure that you're having a good time, making sure you're getting something out of it. So these are things that we would pick up on. I'm not saying like the entire class would pick up on it. Really, nobody else is looking at you the way your fitness professional is looking at you, okay? So we can tell a lot about you when you come to class. What you're going through mentally, by that I mean you wear it on your face. Your shoulders might be up to your ears. You might be rounded through the back. I see it a lot in yoga classes. I can tell by how somebody gets into our hip stretches or avoids the hip stretches. I can tell by when I give you know, at the very end, I try to do like a whatever pose you need to complete yourself today. I can tell a lot about you by what pose you're doing there. So for example, I have a client who loves to get into a shoulder stand at that point, which is great. It's a great way to kind of end your yoga practice. But that's my little overachiever feeling like they need to get something cardio, something a little heavier out of class. I have some people that like to hold knees into the chest and hug themselves. I feel like they just need a little extra love. They're maybe being hard on themselves. And I have some people that loudly sigh and splat. And those are the people that are just like, I need people to notice me, that I'm here. And this is where I feel most seen. So those are just a few examples. But we know what you're going through mentally. We know how well you treat yourself. So showing up to class is an amazing thing. And again, you know, when you're signing up for a fitness class, when you're coming to a fitness class, we're assuming that you are already on this path to bettering yourself, to finding yourself, to enhancing your own well-being. And I will preface this, all of these things are definitely assumptions. I am absolutely a fitness professional, certified fitness professional. I am not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a therapist, anything like that. None of that. This is purely for fun, okay? Purely for fun. Don't take it too hard. But we can tell how well you treat yourself. So I've seen and I've had some clients who will laugh at themselves. Especially, so in high fitness, for example, we have some moves that got me kicked out of the Y. Some moves that are, you know, you're kind of like swaying your hips a little side to side. And I have some clients that just laugh through that whole part because they don't have another response to it. They're very aware of themselves and they don't want to make a fool of themselves, even though like I do it all class long. So you're welcome. I will take that heat for you. I have, how else, how well you treat yourself. there's like self-talk, or some people are verbal and vocal in classes, so I can tell by what they're saying how well they treat themselves or how badly they've been treating themselves. And sometimes I'll use that as an opportunity to kind of throw out a happy thing for the class, or I'll use that moment to kind of go around the group and like lock eyes with each individual and be like, you're amazing, you're doing great, keep up the motivation, that kind of thing. So we can tell how well you treat yourself. Here's a good one. I can tell if you're having a baby before you even tell me. I have had so many clients over the year, and I have personally never had a child, but I've had so many clients over the years that have come to classes, have gotten pregnant, have been pregnant. Sometimes I'm the first non-family member that gets told, which is so cool. I love being your secret keeper. And it's good too, because I need to understand, like, I shouldn't push you here, or let's not do this, or let's not do that, or kind of like figure out what your body awareness is for the day, or ask you. But of course there's a leaf blower right now. Maybe you don't hear it, but it's cool. Sorry if you hear that, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I can tell if you're having a baby. Especially if you're a long time client. Now, if you're brand new and it's your first class and you're expecting, I probably wouldn't know. You carry yourself differently. You have a different energy about you, especially those who are first time moms. You touch your belly way more than you know. So you have all these little tells. So the last time that I had a client tell me that she was having a baby, I accidentally said, I know. And I was like, I shouldn't have said that. But the energy was definitely changed. Not in the way that she had less energy. It was more like a dynamic energy change, a shift that I could sense. And when you spend a lot of time with people and you notice their movement patterns, you become very attuned quickly if something has changed. So I recognized it early on, which was kind of cool. I kind of feel like a little bit of a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. Anyway, I can also tell in a group fitness class by how you move yourself and how you show up what you're scared of. I can tell your fears. I know what you're scared of. There are people whose eyes never make it to the mirror. There are people who, again, laugh at themselves anytime we're doing some kind of a dynamic movement. There are people who will tell me, I'm coming. Like, I can tell what you're scared of, and my hope is that I will be able to help you work through that. Very loud car is pulling up right now. Wow. I can tell how you learn. I can see it. So I've become very cognizant of the different learning abilities and types in classes. So I recognize when people are more visual learners, more auditory, or more kinesiology, more physical learners. And I try to hit all of those types. Does it happen? Does it execute perfectly every single time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I try to understand and grasp how people are picking it up. I have some clients who need a heads up. I have some clients who need a physical 8 count with my hands up. That one is harder for me. Very, very, if you know anything about fitness instructors, particularly bar and Pilates, we have a really hard time counting from 8. We just add extra ones in there for whatever reason. We just can't count. We just forget how to count. Either way, I can tell how you best learn, and it is my job to recognize that, understand that, and provide that to you in the group fitness setting. Now remember, there could be different types of learners, so I feel teachers real hard. I feel like we have our work cut out for us, for sure. I can tell your personality, and a lot of that has to do with where you stand in class. You would be surprised. You would think that the most extroverted people would stand in the very front so like everybody could recognize them. But some of my most extroverted clients actually stand in the back because they want to be able to view like the entire space and see everything that is going on. And a truck just went by. Like this is like the quietest corner normally, and today it's just not. And I don't understand why. But thank you for going on this journey with me. Okay, so I can understand your personality by where you stand in class, by how you introduce yourself to new people or don't introduce yourself to new people, by who you talk to and how you talk before class and after class. I can tell a lot about your personality. I can tell if you're introverted or extroverted, or if you're trying to be one of those things, if you're putting on. I can tell. You're a fitness professional. We know. I can tell what you value. So first of all, just coming to class shows me that you value hard work, that you value your well-being, that you want to either change, enhance, or continue your health. And that's amazing. So immediately just signing up and coming to class, like, I can tell that you value you. And that's a huge, huge thing. Wow. We'll just let that noise dissipate a little bit. So what you value in yourself, what you value in a class environment as well. So I try to keep my classes kind of like fun, lighthearted, but you work hard. So I know you value hard work if you come to my classes repeatedly. Like, I know you, I see that. I can tell a lot about you by your patterns of coming to class or not coming to class, and the excuses that you provide. Now, here is a big PSA. You absolutely never have to give an excuse for anything. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to change your plans. Now, if you are, and one of the reasons I don't offer this currently is because I had so much of this. If you are working with a personal trainer and you consistently cancel, do you think that person's gonna wanna continue to work with you? Probably not. So I honestly stopped my offerings at that moment where a lot of people, not a lot, but I didn't have very many clients, but I had a couple clients that were just sort of like flaky, and I didn't wanna do it. I didn't wanna set aside the time and then have them cancel, and I didn't get paid for that session. I've also changed up my group offer. This car is going to start. It's going to get really loud. I've also changed up my group packages where you have to pay a certain down payment upon signing up, and you do not get that back, because that is time. That is somebody's time that you are taking up, and that's time that I could have been working with another client, could have been doing something else, could have used it for something else. So that's a little PSA to fitness professionals. But I can tell by your excuses, by your patterns of showing up, I can tell a lot about you by those things. This is my favorite one, and I feel like a lot of fitness professionals this will resonate with them. I can tell a lot about you by where you physically stand during classes. So again, I think a lot of people would believe that the extroverts would be in the front of the class, but sometimes I find they're actually in the back of the class. And the introverts, so that they don't have to look at anybody, a lot of them stand in the front row, but that's not 100% the case, right? That's limited, but I can tell if you're standing in the back corner. I can tell if you're standing in the position that does not face the mirror. I can tell if you turn your body towards someone or something. I can tell there are lines in the mirrors. I can tell if you have stood accidentally on a line and you move over, or if I move a lot. I move a lot during classes. So if I accidentally stand in front of you, which I never, ever, ever try to do, I can tell there are clients who will like move over so they can be like, I want to see myself. I get you. Same. If I'm taking a class, I want to be in that front row and I want to see myself too. So I totally get that. None of these things are a knock. None of these things are bad that I'm saying that we understand about you. It's really just information that I am able to use and create a better environment, create a better class, do better for you, and just have like the best possible scenarios that you continue to come back to class. One more, I can tell a lot about you by when you show up to class. So I have some people that are like right at the time that the class starts. I have some people that will come in a couple minutes late. I have some people that will come 30 minutes early. I can tell a lot about you and what's happening in your day, and honestly, your overall fitness level by when you show up. And you know, I'm happy that you show up whenever you show up. There are some classes, and I have personally experienced this, that will not let you come in if you are within the 5-minute window of the class starting. They're like, nope, you've missed too much, you cannot come in. I've seen more and more places actually doing that. I don't, but I will say, I mean, I teach a 30-minute express class, and like if you've missed 10 minutes of it, you've missed like the whole warm-up, that's fine, like that's on you. But the liability for the instructor, like it's best to show up a couple minutes early, but probably not 45 minutes early, because you're just stressing out the instructor for sure. But I can tell a lot about you if you show up really early or if you're consistently showing up late. So there it is. If you are a fitness professional, tell me what other things that you can tell about your fitness clients just by what they're doing in class or how they show up. If you are a class participant, tell me if any of those things make you feel very seen or personally victimized. Again, this was all in good fun, maybe some assumptions, but it's all for fun. That is this week's confession. Thank you so much for joining me and dealing with all of the different sounds. It's a lot busier today than I expected, but I enjoyed sharing this confession with you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.